Hey gang, so there's nothing in front of us today, no booster boxes, no theme decks, there's nothing here. Why? Because I wanted to do something different right now. I wanted to try making a video that is a review of the year 2022 in regards to Pokemon cards. And how do I want to do that? I want to go through some of my favorite cards that I've pulled this year. So to begin with, we're going to jump right in here. I'm going to start with some honorable mentions that aren't going to make the list. And we'll start from there. So let's start with these guys. What I got here is we've got the Charizard UPC alt arts. I'll pull each of them up here. You've seen these before. Everybody's seen these. Why are these an honorable mention? Well, I didn't have any luck in pulling these. They were part of the set. They're promo cards, essentially. So I didn't feel like I didn't have that same specialness of getting these guys. It was special to get good cut versions of them, but it wasn't so special. I wanted to keep the top 10 for cards I actually pulled out of that had a randomness to that, which means like pulling them legitimately rather than promo cards. So I wanted to give these guys an honorable mention. They're pretty awesome. Next up, another card that I pulled out of a box myself, but again, it's not random. This came out of an old theme deck that I've got a friend that found his old Pokemon cards, and part of what I bought off him was a sealed box that has this Lapras card. I always say Lapra. I don't know why. But Lapras. So this is a unlimited Lapras that I got. I did pull it myself, but again, there was no randomness to it. So it looks amazing. It's in very good condition. There's a little nick on the very top up here. But other than that, it looks like it's in very good shape, we can say. Next up, I'll bring another two cards that come from a promo box, and that is the Jolteon Alt Arts that came with the Jolteon box. Love these cards so much. But again, these are promos. These are my favorite out of all of the cards. My wife has the Flareon ones. I bought them for her, and I'm letting her keep them because I think she was afraid that when I bought them for her that I was going to take them over. But no, she's got them in her collection. So that's another mention. So another card. This one I actually pulled. Honorable mention. I pulled this year. This is from 2016 Evolutions. I pulled this myself. I just like this card. And when I was looking through my card collection, I thought, hey, that was a really fun moment, but it's not in my top 10. So next up, from Pokemon Go, Mewtwo V-Star Gold. Pokemon Go and I do not have a very good relationship. I talk about that in the Pokemon Go videos. But pulling this card was the first card I pulled that was cool. I mean, I pulled this before I pulled Dittos, or I think I pulled it before I got the Dittos. I think I also pulled it before I got any Radiant cards. So this was my first actual legitimately good pull from Pokemon Go. So I wanted to give that a mention too. Next up, from Astral Radiance. No. Brilliant Stars. I pulled this guy. I didn't have very good pulls from Brilliant Stars, but why do I love this guy? I believe that this is the nicest rainbow card that I have ever pulled. It looks, when I compare it to all of my other rainbow cards, this one pops all the time. This one looks, there's something special about Whimsicott, and I felt it was worth mentioning. Couple more here. So next up, pretty basic, but a Typhlosion V-Star. Why this guy? Because I wanted a Hisuian Typhlosion card. I love Hisuian Typhlosion. I love the ghost type mixed with fire type. My other favorite card is it a Galarian? Oh, I forget what it is, but it's an Alolan Marowak maybe, where it's a fire and ghost type card that they changed from Marowak. So I love this character. I just love this as a new Pokemon, Hisuian Typhlosion. It's my favorite of the new Pokemon. And is the card that special? I mean, a lot of people have these ones. I was just so happy to actually pull a Hisuian Typhlosion. Next up, so this one, gosh, was this Brilliant Stars also? No. I think this was Astral Radiance, I think. Anyways, I could be wrong. pulling this guy was a lot of fun. Getting in a Galarian Moltres is just, I never got one from Chilling Reign, so getting it out of another Pokemon release in the character rare slot, I was pretty happy to get a Moltres V with this beautiful artwork on it. And the texture, I always call it the fingerprint sort of texture in the background. And two more, finally. Well, not finally, second last. The Ditto card. Oh my gosh, like this took me forever to get a Ditto card. And there's a video of me pulling this, and I am just head over heels. I was so pumped to get a Ditto card because I worked hard for this card. Honorable mention, really happy with it. And finally, Radiant Steelix. I love this card so much. It reminds me of the shiny Steelix from back in Generation 2, and I just think this card is beautiful. I think the card itself looks good. It's one of the times where the yellow actually it improves upon the middle, or the art, I should say. So I wanted to give that a mention too. Okay, I'm going to put these to the side, and then we're going to go from number 10 to number 1. My number 10 card is Pikachu VMAX. So this is the number 29 out of the trainer gallery, and the reason that I love this card is I love what it looks like. The black is so black. It's got almost a little bit of not a sparkle, I guess, but it makes the gold pop so much, and it's got that fingerprint texture. I love this card. I would say that this could be the card that got me committed to Pokemon again in 2022. I've gone into Cryptic and MetaZoo and all that, but when I actually pulled this card, and I didn't say it on video, but after pulling this card, this, for some reason, changed my attitude. And it changed my attitude towards Lost Origins. I wasn't going to actually dive into it, and this guy pulled me back in. So this is my number 10 card. Super happy to have gotten it, because it just, it pulled me in again. Okay. Start lining these up. Right there. Okay, my number 9 card is Galarian Zapdos. So, I love Zapdos. It's my favorite of the 3 original legendary birds, and this Galarian Zapdos, just getting a gold card and having it being Galarian Zapdos, given I didn't pull any Galarian Zapdos cards of Chilling Reign, it was kind of like getting that Moltres that I had in the honorable mentions. This card was just, I got a card that I wanted. It was a Pokemon I wanted, and it's a gold card. This is my number 9. It's a beautiful card all around, and I just love it. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I just like this card. Put her there. Okay, next up we have for number 8, Radiant Blastoise. I'm a huge Blastoise fan. In fact, Blastoise is my favorite out of the 3 starter Pokemon from Generation 1. This guy surprised me because I had pulled the Radiant Charizard, and then I pulled this after in the same, I think it was the Dragonite collection, deck holder collection, and pulling this card was just like a blast from the past. Every time, it reminded me of Celebrations, pulling my first Blastoise from Celebrations. I was very happy. Blastoise is my generation. Squirtle, Wartortle, Blastoise, that's my Generation 1 Pokemon. And that little bit of just going through those memories as a kid of being so into Blastoise and whatnot. Yeah, this was really fun. Number 7 is the Alternative Art Beedrill. What was cool about this card is I pulled Dialga, I think it's Dialga V, the alt art. I pulled that one, and then I pulled this one after. Super cool that happened that way. This Beedrill is like, it's a Generation 1 Pokemon. That's the generation that I was into the most. Getting a Beedrill was phenomenal, and the art looks amazing. This card is underrated in my opinion, but again, you can see, it seems like a lot of the big cards that I get, the centering isn't very good. You can see right here how uncentered it is. And on the back, you can see there, there's a lot to the left, not so much to the right. And there's a lot on the bottom here too, so this is a cool one. In fact, you know what the weird thing is when I pulled it, I was in so much shock and still feeling the Dialga alt art that this one, it didn't pop at that moment. But now when I was going through these cards in order to make this, prepare for this video, this guy stood out where I was like, man, how lucky am I to have pulled that myself? So Beedrill as number 7. There we go. Okay. Next up. So some of these aren't as you can see, I've got a variety here so far. Some are more rare than others. This one, not that rare. We've got Radiant Alakazam. This is in just some of my latest videos from Silver Tempest. Pulling Radiant Alakazam. Alakazam is one of my Pokemon I always had in my 6 Pokeballs that I could hold when I'd play the game. Alakazam was always one of the ones that I had. Alakazam and Blastoise are mainstays of my 6 playable Pokemon. So pulling Radiant Alakazam, again, nostalgic. Just a lot of fun, and I love the purple of this card. Another card where the yellow actually the yellow goes together. The trim goes together with the art, as Alakazam is yellow himself. So pretty psyched about that. Number 5 is this one. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's going to be something to do with this guy. We've got Radiant Charizard. I didn't think I was going to pull a Radiant Charizard. All I wanted to do was pull a Radiant Pokemon of some type. And as I said, I pulled this Radiant Charizard and the Radiant Blastoise in the same Dragonite collection for Pokemon Go. And that was the last thing I was going to open. And it has been the last thing I've opened for Pokemon Go. I decided to stop at that point. But pulling a Charizard is always fun. There's something about it that is so, like, I want to use the word pleasureful, but it's rewarding is a better word than pleasureful. Let's keep it PG. It's so rewarding to pull a Charizard because of the infamy behind Charizards, and just knowing, hey, it's something I never pulled as a kid, you know? So pulling it now, it's not nostalgic necessarily. It's reliving things that didn't happen as a child. That's not a sad story either. I was very, very fortunate as a kid, so I'm not playing a little violin for myself. Next up, we have... Okay, this is a newer... this is from Silver Tempest. It is my gold Lugia. Why is this one in here? Because I actually don't have any other Lugia Pokemon cards. Unless I have, it was in Celebrations, but it was in Celebrations as a, I think it was in Celebrations at least. Yeah, it had to have been. It had to be in the Celebrations, but those aren't as rare. I'm talking not about the special cards, but the regular sort of holo cards that came in Celebrations. I'm pretty sure Lugia is in there, but what I'm trying to say is I don't have any special Lugia cards, and getting a gold one is, to me, that's next to getting the alt art. Didn't get the alt art, but I had a lot of luck before that. You're not lucky with every set. With this one, pretty psyched to have gotten this one. The centering's okay. It's there's a little more to the left. You can see it here. It's a little more to the right and a little more to the top, but fun to have a card that I've never had. And also, it's kind of like, this was the chase card from Gold, and I never did ever get a Lugia previously. So it's kind of like a Charizard. Pretty exciting to get one. Next up, okay, this next one isn't from a series, again, sort of like the one Charizard Ultimate, the honorable mention. This one is a Charizard from Celebrations, and you're saying, well, Celebrations came out in 2021, and that's true, but I didn't pull this card until 2022, and I worked my butt off to pull this card. I went through a bunch of product. I wish I had a channel back then so I could have recorded it and started that, but oh well. Here's the Charizard I pulled. Centering isn't the best, again, but pulling this card, this is the last thing I ever opened from Celebrations, was the tins this was in, because I was trying to just pull a Charizard for myself. I pulled 3 Umbreons, 3 Shining Magikarps. I pulled like 3 of all the other top cards in the set, but this one I only pulled 1 of. Very hard for me to get this guy, and the rewarding experience it was when I pulled him, I actually was more in shock. I didn't even feel rewarded. I just was like, it's over. It's over now. And that's the last time that I really tried to chase a card, I would say, in Pokemon. So that's when I think I kind of got burnt out and I started to pull away, because even when I got into Brilliant Brilliant Stars, I was a little bit just sort of, yeah, I'll buy a couple to see if I can get some decent pulls. But Brilliant Stars, I wasn't that into. The Astral Radiance, I got good pulls out of Astral Radiance, but I actually just wasn't that passionate about Pokemon at that time. It wasn't until Lost Origins that I kind of got pulled back in by that one Pikachu card where I was like, yeah, I think I like this. And I think I was getting frustrated with some of the other trading card games that I'm not going to mention here because I mentioned it enough in other videos. I don't need to continually FUD. Okay, number 2, I've mentioned this one already, is we've got Origin Form Dialga V with a terrible cut. Pulling this card was, I don't know how it felt. No, do I not know? I was surprised by it, but immediately I saw how poorly the card was cut. Let's take a look at the back and you can see. And I was kind of let down. And I know that's a poor attitude to have. I don't always have that, but for some reason this card was one of the cards, because some of the other cards were poorly cut and I wasn't that upset. But this one, for some reason, it's just so... I wish it was so poorly cut that it would be considered a miscut at this point, you know. But yeah, I pulled this card and immediately it was just so obvious how bad of a cut it was that I just wish it was just a little bit more centered. It doesn't have to be perfectly centered, but either a little bit more centered or completely just wreck the card would have been nice. So, but still, looking back, this is a chase card of the set, and it is a beautiful card. It's got, yeah, look at just looking at it. This is a beautiful card. Looking back, I'm more grateful for it, and that's why it's my number 2. Is looking back, hey, it's one of the chase alternative art cards. That is super exciting, and not many people get that experience to pull one. And sure, it is poorly cut, but that is what it is, you know. Got to be grateful. And finally, if you watch my videos, I've got a pretty small following at this point, 31 people. So not many people follow, but if you are one of those people, this next card, you would have seen me pull it in Lost Origins, and it is my number 1 pull of the year. Aerodactyl V Alt Art. The cut is pretty decent, up and down. It's a little bit off, but honestly, this is a pretty decent card. I'd prefer up and down, be like, you know, have more space in the bottom or something like that than left to right. And this guy is a pretty decent cut. It's not a 10 out of 10, I would say, but because you can see there's a lot of room in the bottom, but overall, it looks really good. And getting this card was super exciting. I didn't think I thought that I'd used my luck up on the previous set, Astral Radiance. Then I opened that one Elite Trainer box, got the Pikachu over on the side that I was talking about here, my number 10. And that Pikachu just got me energized. And then I bought the booster box, and this is what I pulled out of it. And that just, I am into Pokemon so much right now. I'm frustrated with some of the other games, and Pokemon, it was there for me when I was frustrated with other games. It's just, they're doing such amazing things this year. So that's my number 1. I love this card. This is my favorite pull I've gotten of this year. Yeah, I will, yeah, so maybe I'll just talk about that here to end the video off. Pokemon are doing great things. Pokemon are really doing some phenomenal things. The character rare slot, is it character rare? Oh gosh, I forget if that's the actual name, but that extra slot where I would have gotten which guys here? Oh, let me pull out my other cards. The Radiant cards, yeah, like Radiant Alakazam. The card that I'm looking at is like the Moltres I was talking about earlier. That character rare slot has made Pokemon so fun to open, and that it was a brilliant move. The cards don't need to be worth that much. They just need to be fun to pull, and that's what Pokemon has done. We've got Crown Zenith on the way. I haven't been digging too into it. I'm not sure if I'm excited or not. We've got the new Pokemon games, and the games they got some work on those, but Pokemon, the trading card game, it feels like they've just they've proven why they're the number 1 trading card game for collecting, and that's because it's a lot of fun to pull. So thank you for watching my videos. Again, here's my top 2. Pretty excited. It was a really good year. This is the year I came back to Pokemon. I keep saying, you know, with some of these sets, oh, I don't know if I'm going to buy much, and I'm not sure what I'll do with Crown Zenith. Maybe I'll wait for a couple months until it passes, and I'll see how the hype dies down, and then I'll go. But overall, pretty excited for 2023, and I think we've got a lot. Pokemon's got a lot to offer, and if there's somebody that's doing it right now in terms of creating cards that people want to pull, it's Pokemon. Because even in Silver Tempest, where my best card was a gold card, which is still good, don't get me wrong, I didn't get it, but I didn't get any alt arts, I still consider it a really fun box to pull, and it's worth the money to actually spend. You don't need to always hit alt arts, and it's still fun. That's what makes Pokemon so great. So anyways, thanks for listening to this. Like, comment, and subscribe. Discuss with me what your thoughts. Let's have a chat about it. And I'm open to any discussion. Disagree with me. Tell me why you disagree with me. Agree with me. Tell me why you agree with me. Any of it. Let's have a discussion. I can appreciate your opinions. Thank you very much. Have a great time. I don't know when this video is going to get posted. A lot of my videos I record quite a bit ahead, and this might be one of those, but we'll see. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.